Celebrities have sunk to an all-new low, and Americans are done watching the dumb that stars continue to say. Whether it's Billie Eilish on Stolen Land or Tourette's at an awards show and all the controversy that surrounds it, being a famous person these days is more like being on Jerry Springer, the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, completely gone. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the channel that continues to give you what you need to know ahead of schedule. And we're happy to do so as we dive in with a passion and zeal that even the Holly Weirds can feel. All we ask is that you hit that like button. And if you're not yet subscribed, we're working hard every single day to earn it from you. Well, we thought the celebrities had gone crazy. We watched as Sabrina Carpenter stood and celebrated as Billie Eilish claimed she was on Stolen Land. But ladies and gentlemen, they've gone even beyond with a case of Tourette's that has them all confused about what to do in their virtue signaling. From the Vigilant Fox, it says Bill Maher is now firing back at Billie Eilish and leftist quote-unquote kids who don't know what the blank America is about. America. Now, I'll play just a very brief clip, a snippet of this before we talk about the award shows are actually getting worse. Of course, Billie Eilish did this on an award show, and it's actually getting worse. The celebrities are somehow finding a way to be mocked even more than we did before. Here is what Maher had to say about Billie Eilish.
I want to first of all say something about Western civilization. Kids, you don't know what the... And no, really, they think Western means white and white means bad. Kids, first of all, everything bad that white people did, people of color did it too.
All right, and he goes on to just really slam Billie Eilish, but that's not the only one. He also goes after, there's Billie. There's another one on there. He talks about the other girl. Where's she at? Just Billie? Okay, fine. Just Billie for now. But you thought that award show was bad. You thought Stolen Land was bad. You thought them camping out with Billie Eilish's mansion and then offering to evict her and give her property back, her $3 million, $14 million, whatever it is, dollar mansion back to the Ungwa or whatever tribe lives in L.A. and lived in L.A. before. Well, we're going here now. Out of that Park Place by Marvin Montanaro, man with Tourette's shouts obscenities and racial slurs. Wow. And here's the look on the guys' faces as the racial slurs were yelled. And frankly, I don't blame them for looking this way. It's really uncomfortable what happened. It says the BAFTA Film Awards are facing renewed scrutiny following a controversial moment where a man with Tourette screamed a racial slur live on the broadcast. The incident has sparked debate across the entertainment industry after many in Hollywood were sympathetic to the man, while others reacted with outrage and publicly criticized how the moment was handled during the ceremony. Alan Cumming, Nightcrawler, addressed the situation twice on stage. Here's what they said. Cumming told viewers, "You may have noticed some strong language in the background there. This can be part of Tourette's for some people, and thank you for your understanding and helping create a respectful space for everyone." Frankly, that's probably where they should have stopped. Then he comes back and says, Tourette syndrome is a disability, and the tics you've heard tonight are involuntary, which means the person who has Tourette syndrome has no control over their language. We apologize if you are offended tonight. Prior to the ceremony, a floor manager had also warned attendees that Davidson has Tourette syndrome, so please be aware you might hear some involuntary noises or movements during the ceremony. So they set this up, and then it didn't go the way they wanted to. Now we've got some commentary on this. Hannah Beechler says, I keep trying to write about what happened at the BAFTAs and I can't find the words. The situation is almost impossible, but it happened 3 times that night, and one of the 3 times was directed at myself on the way to dinner after the show, and a 3rd time at a black woman. I understand and deeply know why this is an impossible situation. I know we must handle this with grace and continue to push through, but what made the situation worse was the throwaway apology of if you were offended. Grace Randolph stepped in because she's got to. Oh, hi there. Grace says Tourette's means no filter, which means this man thought it. Despicable. The BAFTAs out here making fools of themselves in the entertainment industry. So Grace is an expert on Tourette. Oh, she got hit with the community clarification there. Readers added context. Outbursts from Tourette syndrome are involuntary and do not reflect the person's thoughts or beliefs. This is the guy, by the way, who was yelling this stuff. Here's the deal, guys. This is just chaos. All of this is just chaos. And it's chaos made by incompetent people who don't know what the heck they're doing. And then people who don't know what the heck any of this is commentating on the people who don't know what the heck they're doing. Steve, it has been said that you love chaos.
I do.
Celebrities have become pure chaos. They are now a circus. So what make you of this What do you say about Grace Randolph and the people who are offended, or maybe they set this up so they get this kind of an event? What do you think about just what has become of celebrity status? It's something Americans, and I guess even Canadians, just mock now.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it's all a joke, but what actually I go back to with this whole conversation of Tourette's is when I was working with Youth for Christ, and I was talking with one of the guys who ran the ministry I was a part of. And he was explaining how he knew people that had Tourette's, because I don't remember why I brought it up. Oh, because there was a kid in my class that had Tourette's. And he explained that he's like, well, what's interesting is how it's learned, right? Is like the reactions, the things they say. And people freak out because these people learned it. And so it's not everyone that has Tourette's obviously yells out obscenities. Some people, they have twitch, or sometimes they have like a tweak or whatever. But these are learned expressions, and so there is that element of it. Because if it was just raw Tourette's, they wouldn't be cussing in English. You know what I mean? So, because if someone has Tourette's and they're Chinese, or they're whatever, some maybe Nigerian, I don't know, they're not swearing in English, whatever. So these are all learned things. So where it comes from, what's the source of it necessarily, I can't really say, but I will say that there is something on the inside that does come out. I will say that is while I don't really agree with Grace necessarily, there is an element of it. I wouldn't say it's no filter, but I would say that there is some truth to what she's saying. Now, how much weight obviously I would give Grace is not a lot, but understanding that these things do come from a place of, it's a learned thing. There's a lot to it. So that's where I think it's just, when you said like, this is the guy, that was going to be my question, is what does the guy look like? Because that also matters. Because is everyone just upset because there's racial obscenities being thrown out there? Was it? I don't know. And that's so, like, there's just so many things that go through my mind when I initially heard this story. Now, I thought it was initially pretty funny, because like classic. Like,
well, you love chaos.
I do, and so, but at the same time, I started really trying to filter it through the experiences that I've had over the years with people that have had Tourette's. So
here's the thing: they don't know what to do, and they're fighting amongst each other because there are multiple minorities and virtue signaling systems at odds, because we have a disabled person that they had there to celebrate who is involuntarily yelling things at another group that they view as a minority and want to defend. And listen, I uphold the dignity and the infinite value of every single human being, but celebrities really do make me question this sometimes, because whether it is, Billie Eilish standing up there saying stolen land, or whether it is this situation where it's just a circus. We thought when Will Smith went up there and slapped, right? The slap heard around the world. We thought that was about as low as it could go. And the celebrities are just proving us wrong. If they can't make any movies that we'll watch, they're determined to have us watch things by just going utterly stupid. And this whole thing is totally and utterly stupid, and it's going to make them all irrelevant. That's my thought on it.
But is it really making them irrelevant, or is it just exposing that they've been irrelevant and this is all just ridiculousness?
So it's another day where it's the meme of the guy which can't decide which button to push. It's which side do I take, because it's instead of like it, you're putting yourself into a position here where things can happen. And it's like, now, what are your options? You say, yeah, this person's not allowed to attend anything because he might, say something, and it's a disability. He can't help it. Like, is in his mind, is he thinking like, all right, well, this is like, I don't know how Tourette's functions. Is it something that's like, wow, if I'm seeing Wilton in the room, like, all right, don't say anything about the fig leaf. Don't say anything about the fig leaf. And all of a sudden you yell fig leaf. It's, I don't know what causes the disorder or whatever. But at some point, like, this all could have been handled with a tape delay. Why did you have to have it live? If you know something can happen, why didn't you just tape it?
Right. Exactly. And
that's the worst part, is because there is allegedly there was enough of a delay where they could have fixed it for the viewing public at home. You obviously couldn't have done anything for the people there in the audience, but this could have not been a whole nationwide, worldwide issue. It could have been delayed.
So here's what is being said by Brian Ass. It says, my thoughts are with John Davidson today, a Tourette sufferer and campaigner. He's there, by the way, for a documentary on Tourette's. Says he's worked hard, and he received an award for it. He's worked hard to raise awareness of a condition that makes people shout horrible things. And it happened to him last night as he was doing awards. And he's actually being condemned, and it says, by idiots. So they brought him there to award him for having Tourette's and for bringing awareness to Tourette's. Then when he had Tourette's, now he's being called that. And it's just chaos. And it's just, these people, man, they step into it every single time. So they're like Honey Boo Boo, Lorne. The celebrities have become the Honey Boo Boos of the world.
I think this whole thing is silly. I've worked with a guy who suffered from Tourette's when he was younger, and my understanding of the way that it works, and this is probably not true for everybody because there are different symptoms. Some people say things, some people have nervous tics, some people will bark or growl or make unusual noises. But when you think about how your brain works, it's a classification engine. When you are looking at something, you have to perceive it, and that means that you have to take in the traits of the thing and identify what it is before you can decide what to do with it or how to act towards it. And that also means that your mind is going through an internal thesaurus where you are looking at something and thinking of all of the possible things that you could call it or deal with. So all of those things are running through your mind. A Tourette sufferer has got some crossed wiring inside their brain that is not eliminating the filter, but causing the filter to operate abnormally so that sometimes things will bubble up to the surface and come out. And it's also oftentimes triggered by anxiety. So I would imagine what probably happened in this guy's case is that Delroy Lindo and was it Michael B. Jordan? Was he the other guy that was up there? They get up there on the stand. This guy sees them, and the first thing that he registers is they are black men. And suddenly all of the synonyms for black men start going through his mind, and likely that triggers anxiety where he's going, don't say this,
right.
don't say this.
Now. Don't have the episode now.
And that's anxiety, triggers the faulty circuitry, out comes the word. You know, so it's funny in a roundabout way, but it is understandable. That's not saying that what he said was right, correct, or should have been said, but it is, you do have to have a little bit of grace to understand that he's wired not like most people. And that's why he was there. It was to raise awareness about it and the work that he's doing. It's unfortunate. I understand why people would be hurt hearing it, but you do have to have some grace for the guy because he likely couldn't control it.
Right. Because what's in it for him to do this? What's in it for him?
Fame.
Yeah.
Oh, good grief. Steve, that's the kind of thing you would do. There's one person, though, who is not getting out this scot-free. Bill Maher slamming Billie Eilish. She doesn't have Tourette's, so Stolen Land was not part of that condition. Folks, it's time to bid you adieu, but we hope that you will help us anew, and that is, we're only asking you click that like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. And oh, by the way, have you gone the way of thatparkplace.com? www.thatparkplace.com. It's the website that if you're not yet bookmarked to, well, you should be. A bastion of truth and knowledge when it comes to entertainment and everything that's going on. Go check it out today, folks. We would love to have you over there as well. All right, we are getting ready to head out, but do not fret, for we will put out 4 more videos tomorrow, so long as the good Lord allows. And we believe that probably, just might, happen. All right, until the next time we get to share time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.